Okay, you should have already done or watched the video on how to do a title page, but just in case you have not, make sure that your title page is no more than 3 lines and 15 words in length, and then all numbers, chemical elements, and compounds are spelled out. You need to make sure that you have the correct category and division, as well as your name and your grade level and your school and the address. Once you have that title page done, then you can move on to the next section of your paper, which is the introduction. So once again, we're going to make sure that our paper is set up correctly with the correct font size and the correct Times New Roman font. We're going to make sure that we hit File, Save As, and save our introduction. And then we're going to start working on the introduction. So the introduction must be 3 paragraphs at least. It can be longer than that in length. And it has to answer 3 specific questions. So you're going to start by answering those 3 questions. And the 3 questions, the first paragraph. So your entire first paragraph will answer the question, why did you do this project? And you can't say, because Mrs. Williamson said I had to. Like, I want to know what made you interested in this area. Why did you pick this subject? Try to think about how this fits into agriculture and those kinds of things. So the first paragraph, and a paragraph once again has to be at least 5 sentences long. So the first paragraph is how or why I picked this project, is what you're going to be talking about. Your second paragraph will answer stating the problem. So it's not, don't tell me what the hypothesis is. Say, I selected this project about fishing line in my first paragraph. I would say I picked this project because I really enjoy fishing and get really frustrated when the line breaks when I have a fish on the line. And know that sometimes that line is not always reflective of what the actual weight is when I bought it. So the problem, the second paragraph, you're going to state the problem, and you're going to say, like, the problem is how do the actual advertised weights reflect what you can actually catch size of a fish? And then explain to me why this is a problem. Like, you spend a lot of money to buy a fishing line, and it's important to get fishing line that is reflective of what you are going to be fishing. So if you are a sports fisherman, you want to have a heavier weighted line, and like, tell me that. Tell me why it is an important problem for you to solve. And then your third paragraph, you're going to tell me the general findings of previous work. Okay? So your third paragraph, you're going to tell me, like, what are some general findings? So findings from your review of literature, your others' work. So what are from your research? So in researching this project, I learned that 90% of all fishing lines are adequately described. But then you must, if it's not common knowledge, so if you're going to use some of your statistics, you must cite it. And you must cite it according to APA, right? In-text citations are very important. Then your fourth paragraph, you're going to tell me about the general approach to how you solve this. So for my fishing line project, I would say something like, I tested, to help solve this problem, I tested 3 different fishing lines 3 times by hooking them up to weights and determining how much weight could be applied before the fishing line would break. So that's your fourth paragraph. And then your last paragraph, is your general objectives. Notice in here, nowhere does it say that you state your hypothesis. Your hypothesis should never be mentioned in your introduction, but you want to tell me your objectives of the study. So the objectives of the study were to determine the breaking point of 3 different fishing lines, figure out how accurate they were to their advertised weight, and last but not least, the last objective was to determine if the price was related to how accurate the weight was. Okay, so that's your introduction.